I am the Morgul Bat, and welcome to another lore breakdown video. Today, we are looking at my Black Devil Batman cosplay. But first, allow me to preface a few things. Number 1, my lore breakdown series is a recent creation, and what I have been doing is making these types of videos for the cosplays that have followed after the creation of these types of videos. And my Black Devil Batman cosplay was created in November of 2022, and in that same month, I created what you could call a screenplay stroke novel that detailed the origin story for my Black Devil Batman. So I felt that since I have been creating these lore breakdown videos, that I wanted to share this story that I had created. Now, my second point, my original draft is approximately 9,870 words, nearly 10,000. And if I was to narrate all of what I had written, then this would be a very, very long video, which is why I made the executive decision to use ChatGPT to condense what I had written into something more concise, but still maintaining the essence of what I originally wrote. And ChatGPT was able to get it down to 1,653 words. Now, do I believe in AI taking jobs and replacing human creativity? Absolutely not. However, in this case, those 9,000 near 10,000 words that I had originally wrote are exactly that. I originally wrote them. The story of the Black Devil Batman is my own, and AI has been used merely to condense that down into something more manageable for audio recording. And just to say, I will not use 100% of what ChatGPT created. I will add my own phrasings of certain sentences or change some words, because as much as AI can be convenient, it doesn't always get things right. Okay, thank you for listening. I appreciate your patience. It would have felt wrong if I did not clarify those details. And now, the main event, the origin of my Black Devil Batman. He was 8 years old when his world collapsed. A quiet night at the theater, a shortcut through an alley, and then 2 gunshots that would echo for the rest of his life. Bruce Wayne lost more than his parents that night. He lost sleep. He lost peace. He lost the light. At age 9, he tried to run from it. From Alfred, from school, from the house that had become a mausoleum. But fate caught him. The ground gave way beneath his feet, plunging him into a cavern beneath the estate. He screamed as he fell, and woke the bats. Thousands of them, shrieking, clawing, swarming. He tried to escape, but in the maddening darkness of the swarm, he tripped and hit his head. When Alfred found him, Bruce was unconscious and would not wake for 2 weeks. When he did, he wasn't the same boy. He carried with him a new fear of the dark, of bats, of what they represented, and beneath that fear, a seed of anger. Dr. Leslie Tompkins tried to help. She spoke gently to him, helped him breathe, helped him not to lash out, but rage still simmered under his skin. At school, when the bullies mocked his loss, Bruce fought with a ferocity no child should know. Some teachers whispered that he might kill one day. Leslie saw something else, a pain trapped behind anger. And for a while, she kept him from falling further away from the light. Years passed. At 18, Bruce tried to bury the pain in noise. In bars, in fights, in sleepless nights. He skipped classes, picked brawls, drowned himself in liquor. But when he drunkenly crashed his car into his parents' tombstone, he finally saw what he'd become, a disgrace to their memory. Even then, Alfred never gave up on him. And neither did Jim Gordon, a man who'd been there the night the Waynes were murdered, who saw the terror in the young boy's eyes. With Gordon's help, Bruce faced the consequences, unwillingly so. Fines, counseling, jail time. In that cell, surrounded by broken men, Bruce saw his reflection. He was one of them, angry, lost, wasting his life. And that realization broke something, but it also built something new. When he got out, Alfred arranged for therapy. Jonathan Crane, a psychologist who studied fear. Crane didn't coddle him, he challenged him. He made Bruce confront what scared him, starting with the bats. At first, Bruce trembled. The sound of their wings brought back that night in the cave. But when Crane released one from its cage, against Alfred's furious protest, Bruce didn't run. He faced it, and as he stared into the creature's eyes, terrified and trembling just like he was, something changed. He realized that fear ruled everyone, man and beast alike, and if he could master it, he could use it. In that moment, Bruce had found purpose. He didn't yet know how or what it would look like, but he knew one thing: he would no longer be ruled by fear. He would become it. Bruce changed his studies, criminology and psychology. He wanted to understand the criminal mind, to see how it worked, how it could be broken. He trained in martial arts, boxing, anything that would sharpen his body the way his mind was sharpening. Alfred thought it was therapy, a way to channel pain into discipline, and in a way, it was. Then came Barbara Gordon, bright, kind, attentive, and carrying her own scars. For the first time since childhood, Bruce felt something close to peace. She reminded him of warmth, of life beyond the mission, but deep down, he knew his path wouldn't end there. When Bruce met Barbara's father again, Jim Gordon saw a man changed, sober, focused, disciplined. He offered Bruce something he'd never seen before, something that just didn't cross his mind, something that his subconscious wouldn't allow. The police report from that night. Bruce hesitated, but accepted. When he finally opened the file, the flood came back, the cacophony of raw emotion, the smell of gunpowder, the screams of his parents, the taste of their blood in his mouth. He cried, but he didn't break. He understood now. The killer was still out there. Justice hadn't come, and maybe it never would. Not in this city, unless he made it happen. Bruce returned to Crime Alley, once known as Park Row, and now a cold, damp and dirty alleyway. Trash bags and overflowing dumpsters littering all sides, flickering lamps on the walls, barely illuminating the area. Fallen, just like the rest of the city. Rain fell as he knelt at the spot where his parents died. He begged for a sign, for direction. He'd made a vow to himself many years ago to never forget what happened that night, but he didn't count on being happy, of the pain not being so bad anymore. However, he did not want to forget them, his parents, else they might cease to exist. And then he heard it, voices above him, two men dressed in black, breaking into an old woman's apartment. Bruce acted without thinking. He climbed the fire escape, confronted them. No weapons, no plan, just instinct. They came at him with a crowbar. He fought back, brutally, efficiently, personally. By the time it was over, both men were unconscious. The woman was safe, and for the first time, Bruce felt something close to clarity. This was his purpose, his penance. And he also saw the truth. Fear was power. When the men first saw him, they hesitated. They didn't know who he was or what he was, and that hesitation gave him the edge. That was the key. He would become something to fear. Over the next weeks, Bruce crafted his symbol. Old military gear, tactical boots, a black jacket stitched with a crude bat symbol, a cape made from dark fabric, a cowl that mirrored the creature he once feared most. It wasn't perfect. It didn't need to be. It needed to terrify. It would be the armor that he wore into battle. Others would call it something else. Every bat has a nest, so Bruce buys a penthouse in Crime Alley under a false name, a base of operations. From there, he could remain hidden and watch the city, but it would also be a place to plan, to heal, to train. And when the time came, Bruce stood on the balcony, the city stretching out before him, a once great metropolis, now a venal pit of crime and corruption. As much as it felt foreign to him, it was still his home. It was still the home of his parents, the city they tried so desperately to save. He could feel the weight of the mask in his hands. He wants this, but what would his parents think? And that he could never truly know. But what he does know is that Gotham City has fallen. and has been falling for many years, and though he may not be able to lift it up, he knows he can at least clean it up, so that those who will can. And for the first time since he was 8 years old, he felt calm. And that night, a shadow would move through the alleys of Gotham, swift, silent, merciless. Criminals whispered about it, described it differently. A man, a monster, a demon in black. Some said they saw wings, some said they saw death. They called him the Black Devil, but he adopted a different name, a reminder that fear can be mastered, pain can be turned into purpose, and from tragedy, something powerful can be born. The Batman had begun. Thank you for watching. Please do consider subscribing and following my Instagram account. And remember, when you hear a noise coming from a dark and deserted alleyway, it may just be the Black Devil himself.